Well, good morning. Thank you again for being with us. We are on this journey of looking at the Executive Learning Network Values System. And this morning I have Gleason Rogers with me from Tractor Supply. He's the manager of training and development for them. And he's been with them for about 4 years, but he's been in the HR world for about 15 years there in Nashville, and actually a Nashville native. So that's, something new for this program, but we're so thankful for Tractor Supply. They've been part of the Executive Learning Networks group since 2003. So they have this rich 17, 18-year history with the program. And I've only been part of the program for 16 years. So Tractor, was pre-me and just such a wonderful partner with us in the Jack C. Massey College of Business. But this morning, Gleason has chosen to focus on the value of respect, and I'm so excited that you're with us, Gleason. We'd love for you to share your ideas about that word, whether that's, some personal reflections or a reflection there of how Tractor Supply and the word respect relate. So I'll turn it over to you, and thank you for being with us.
Great. Jill, thank you so much. Happy to be with you all on this morning. So the word respect, I'm so happy to share about that word. And most people probably know this about Tractor Supply, but Tractor Supply, actually, we have values as well. And respect is one of our values. And that's one of the things that really attracted me to Tractor Supply is our values. And so our values are things such as respect, ethics, winning attitude, teamwork, accountability. We just have a ton of. We actually have 10 values. And we like to tell people that our values are, one is not more important than the other. We like to tell people that they're not in certain order. We just live those out and we really breathe those. And I've worked for companies that, had mission and values was something that was on the wall. It was something the company said, but they really did not do or live. And so I really feel like we lived that out. What I would say really about respect is that I learned to have respect for people, and just not only for people, for organizations, and respect for life, respect. I can remember my mom teaching me to respect the things that you have, meaning you put those things back where you got them from, you take care of them, and respect goes a little bit with gratitude and gratefulness. And so I was taught as a young kid that when you respect someone, you are grateful for that person. You are appreciative of that person. You don't take that for, just really take advantage of that. Jill, the best way I can say this to you is that, I respect you. And by me respecting you, it says that I appreciate what you offer and what you bring to the world. And I do. And so mom and dad taught me at a very young age to always respect everyone, no matter if it was the CEO or the janitor. And they always taught me that you never know who you may need. Although somebody may be a janitor or may be a person who is not high in leadership at a corporation, you never know what value they can actually bring. And so respecting people and just really appreciating who people are, it's a benefit to me and it's a benefit to the world. And so that's something that we all should do. So that's my philosophy on respect. I truly respect everyone until they give me a reason not to respect them.
Well, I love that you brought out that part of just gratitude, right? I mean, does really go hand in hand with respect and how that works regardless of where you are in the organization. I think that's a nice point, for you to bring out. And of course, family heritage, I mean, your parents teaching you gratitude at a really young age. I mean, Gleason, I've known you for a long time, and I would say that, you truly do embody that word. And what a great place for you to work. You know, we all know Tractor Supply, you've got those cards that you pull out of your pocket and it's got a list on it.
I should have stuck one in my pocket today. But I guarantee you, I don't have one too far from it.
I know, that's right. But I mean, I do think that your organization is one that really lives by their values. And, you know, and I don't have all your values memorized, but love that respect is on there. Is there a, you know, thought about how you've seen that, you know, play out in the workplace through some of your employees, or anything you might want to share along those lines?
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, one of the things that I talk to a lot of HR professionals about is making sure your company is an employer of choice. And a lot of people think, okay, well, we are going to become an employer of choice of putting a gym in the corporate office. And we have a gym, okay? We're going to add, we have dry cleaning service. We have someone, we have a company that come and clean up your car. We have someone who can come and polish your shoes. All of these different amenities that does not require that a team member, we call our employees team members, to leave the office. They can get all that right there. They don't have to leave the office for food. We have caterers that come on site. And what we have found is that all of those things are real nice and very much enjoyable, but that really doesn't help make you an employee of choice. And so when you're selling your business to someone, or you're talking to a candidate and you're telling them all about these things that you have, they're kind of like, that's great, I love that. But what really sells and hooks them is when you tell them, hey, we are a company that believes in the value of respect. We believe in treating others the way we want to be treated. And I'm not going to give it away yet, but I'm going to talk about that golden rule, treating others the way you want to be treated. But then there's another rule that we have at Tractor Supply that's better than the golden rule. So our people who are candidates, our candidates who are looking for jobs, they really feel that, hey, Tractor Supply is employer of choice because I know every day I'm going to wake up in the morning, I'm going to feel like going to work. I'm going to be respected. My ideas are going to be valued. And oftentimes we will do sessions, and I may be doing a session on mission and value, and I would ask somebody, I would say, think back to a time when you had a leader who did not embody the values that we have in Tractor. How did you feel getting up in the morning? And most of the time they would say, I didn't want to get up. I had to push myself to work. They would say as I was driving, I had to really give myself a pep talk to say, okay, you can do this. And now that you're in an environment where respect is a value and all these other values we have are lived out, how do you feel about getting up in the morning? And they're like, I'm excited about coming to work. So what that leads to, and here's my HR background coming out, what that leads to, it leads to what I would call productive work environment. Okay. And when that leads to productive work environment, what that necessarily leads to is the company being more successful. And it just all ties hand in hand. So basically you start with respecting people. That's going to bring encouragement and engagement. Then you're going to necessarily get that team member or employee to work more, to work better, to have ideas, to feel comfortable, to really give their all. You know, and so companies say, we want employees to really buy into us. We want them to take a sense of ownership. Well, my advice is if you want your team members or employees to have a sense of ownership, treat them with some respect, and they will feel like, this is my company. This is my Tractor Supply. I am so happy to work here. And you will see production. You will see just all the things that they do go up. I mean, I talk to people and they're just so excited about the work they're doing because they're like, hey, I'm respected and my ideas live here. It's not that my ideas always are implemented, but my ideas live and people respect my ideas. So as you can see, I'm sorry, I got a little passionate about that.
I know, church this morning. So
yeah, I'm sorry, I got a little passionate. But really, that's really how Tractor Supply That's what our environment is like. And really, if you take 5 people, come to the office, talk to 5 people. 5 people will tell you, hey, I'm happy to work for Tractor Supply because I feel valued every day.
Well, y'all are known for that. I mean,
yes.
You're known for your culture. And, Gleason, I love that you're so passionate about it. I mean, I do think that those that work at Tractor are real passionate about working at Tractor. I think that we all know that story, right? And it's so fun this morning to see you and how passionate you are about your employees, about Tractor Supply, about the work that you're doing as an HR manager to make those new folks feel like that they're part of that vision. And I really appreciate you sharing that tip for others.
Yeah, and I want to share this.
Share it. Yeah.
I was working with a training vendor one day, and we were talking about just things like diversity and inclusion and all these things. And the training vendor asked me, they said, Gleason, why is it that you all want to implement these things? They said, have you all had something to happen that you were not happy about and you just wanted to happen? And they said, typically when we get these calls because people are like, okay, something has happened within the organization and now we're trying to clean it up. And I was taken back and I said, the call we're having today is not about anything that's happening in Tractor Supply and us cleaning anything up. It's really about us just being proactive and doing the right thing. We just want to do the right thing. That's what it is. It's not that we're saying, hey, we're going to teach people to respect each other because there has been some type of issue and now we're saying, hey, we want to push this on our leadership. No, we're doing that because it's the right thing. It's the right thing to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Not because the Tennessee law says so, not because the EEOC says so. It's just the right thing to do.
Yeah, that's perfect. Well, as we wrap up, Gleason, is there any last sentiments or statements you want to share, with the ELN community? And, I know that we're, in the last rounds of, this stay at home and things are opening up a little bit in Nashville. But I mean, is there anything that you'd like to say to the group around, well wishes before we close it down?
Yeah. So what I would add is that, as I shared just a moment ago, that, really the golden rule is to treat others how you want to be treated. But we have a rule at Tractor Supply. It's called the Platinum Rule. Okay. And the Platinum Rule is not to treat others the way you want to be treated, but treat others the way they want to be treated. So what we say to that is that I may be an extroverted person and I look for somebody to really, in the mornings, to really speak to me and kind of be outgoing. There may be somebody who's in the office who is an introvert. And they may enjoy talking and having conversation, but they enjoy doing it on a maybe a lower level or so forth. So I want to be mindful of that. And that's respecting them. And even to the point that I'm reminded of personal space. Some people are, hey, we can really talk very close face to face. Some people want to have more personal space. So that rule of respect really goes to not being about you, but being about the other person. And when you're respecting someone, respect for Jill may not be the same thing as respect for Gleason. And so I have to understand and I have to know what's important to Jill. What does Jill value? What are some of the things that Jill was taught maybe as a child? And that way I can really respect you the way you want to be respected. Because if I only see the world from my point of view, my eyes, I will treat you the way I want to be treated. And that's not really what we want to do. We want to treat Jill the way Jill wants to be treated.
Yeah, that's a wonderful last point, Gleason. I really appreciate that. I mean, you've given such good tips and thoughts for us to think about around respect this morning. And just you definitely are the perfect person to have picked that word. I gave all the executives a chance to pick what word they wanted. And so just really passionate about that, and that really comes through. But wanted to thank you for your time this morning and your participation in Executive Learning Networks. You're truly a valued member of the organization. I appreciate your thoughts this morning.
Great. Jill, thank you so much.